What's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday. Got a bunch of stocks on the list today. SPY is down a little bit. I originally planned to have about 8 stocks on my watch list, but as time went on, we got a little closer to the open here. Got 7 more possibilities here that might end up setting up for something, so I really have too much to pay attention to. So kind of had to narrow it down, just kind of stick with what I already had, because there's definitely not a chance I'm going to be able to keep up with everything. So I got the good ones here, at least what I think will be the good ones, and hopefully we see some good trades setting up here. I originally got Target and Lowe's. Also looks like it could be a pretty good gap in here, so let's just see what happens. Target with the 30-cent spread, 40-cent spread. Come on, not this again. Let me see some volume. $1,000 is definitely too much. Actually, it's not true. 1,000 might be. Yeah, 1,000 is probably too much. Probably more like 750. Unless the spread tightens here and volume starts kicking off out of nowhere. If not, I mean, there's no volume in anything. Lowe's had an extremely nice trend going into the open, but there's only 25K traded in the first couple minutes here. Alright, there's the volume. Alright, spread's tightened here. I'm gonna go for 1,000. Not in yet. Alright, man. You see about 30 cents here. Making our way through here. Alright, I'll take half. Take half when I need to. Right about now. And take the rest off. Fine. Perfect. Finally got one. It's good. Finally got a good gap and go. What else we got? NVIDIA setting up for a second day play. I didn't realize my fill down there was that bad. Kind of gave up almost 80 bucks there on that trade because of that. There's some a couple of down gap stocks look pretty awkward, honestly, for a move here, so I think I'm gonna end up avoiding them. I think right now I'm just looking for gap and go plays, but I do want to make a super quick run through of these other stocks that I didn't have, just in case I'm gonna see something like MU, DHI. Yeah, there's no volume there. Kron, no, those aren't good. TS, nope. Tiva might be something later. CTL also might be something later. But SPY's pretty strong open here. Target kind of getting stuck at this 60. Need to see the tape up there first before I do anything. Possible opening range plays are setting up in lows, targets, and X's here. Ultimately, I'd like to see target somewhere back above, at least near this 80-ish level. Doesn't look like it. So lows here actually looks really good for something over the high. If we can just not break it yet, just not yet. 15-cent spread, so I'll give myself 10 cents. Probably 40 cents of risk on 200 risk. 500 shares. I definitely like this trade. I'm gonna go for this one. We're just gonna about 40, so I want to see 40, so I want to see it pretty close definitely above 106.50. Or 107 is about where I want to start taking anything. Because you can't really tell what a good risk spot is up here. Possibly these two candles, but we already got above it once, and if we can get above it again on this really clean looking flag here, I figured we got a good move in store. I might be seeing something here. I'm in. You see it in the 90s. Ooh. Ouch. That one hurt. That's alright. Let's see what it does here. Yep, definitely sold too early, that's for sure. I need to remember these opening range plays aren't the same as a scalp. I have to be okay with it coming back against me. Looks like maybe something going on here at this 98. Spread's pretty crazy here. Pre-market kind of looks like it wants to take off. But I couldn't quite tell if there was a hidden seller or something up there. Need to be ready to get in on any moment's notice here. But I need to see what the tape's doing up there first. No, just blew right through it. Wow. Something up there at 62 too. Jeez. You know, I'm starting to wonder, because I see these setups a lot, I'm starting to wonder if I want to actually just be taking them regardless of if there's a hidden seller or buyer there, because you can definitely tell, I mean, it's not a bad setup. Kind of a triangle little pattern here and a bull flag getting stopped at the whole number, you know, if it breaks right over. Quick and easy. I mean, it would still be the exact same scalp play. You know, you immediately expect it to do what it did, and if it doesn't, then you just get out. Well, I don't really see anything else here. Lowe's is really grinding up there. Around 109 is where the all-time highs are. Just let's keep going. don't think there's anything in here. It's at all-time highs right now. Big sellers here. Broken. You know, it's pretty much an engulfing pattern on the 5-minute. I think what I want to do here, so I can get fairly big on this. If it doesn't want to break, stop loss just right underneath the 60. I might just go for it now. Is there a hidden seller there? I think there was. Back up at 90. If it's gonna break, it's just gonna break. Again, now I want to see something. It's kind of the same case as that excess trade, just this one's at high of day instead of slightly underneath it. It's definitely struggling, but there's no order flow on the 90. So I haven't been able to tell if there's anything there or not. You can see every time it gets up to 90, everything's happening on the bid, nothing's happening on the ask. Okay, there's something there. This will be a quick scalp again. Just gotta be a little cautious of the whole number coming up too. Yeah, there's definitely some hidden sellers here. I'm in. I want to see a bust through here. No, all out. Yeah, I don't know. It was really there's something going on. It was really hard for this thing to keep moving higher. Every time it got up to a new number, you kept seeing like a 1 on the 95, a 1 on the 96, the 97. So like there was just big sellers all up in there. So small loss, no big deal. I'm not seeing anything else at the moment, so I'll turn it back on if I do. Okay, I'm looking at lows here. I'm thinking there's going to be a setup coming in eventually. I think I want to try and get 200 shares down here because it's starting to consolidate. 20's coming up on it. I think I do want to do this. And then my stop is going to be just right below it, underneath this 50 cents here. So I'm in. And then I want to take more on a break above this recent high here. Okay, so I'm full size now. I didn't realize I wasn't full size. Definitely want to see a bounce here. I don't want to see anything under 50 or else I'm out. It's definitely struggling both ways right now. Oh, I don't like the SPY right now. SPY pulled back to VWAP, kind of sat a little bit above it, and now it's looking like it wants to break underneath it. So I'm really hoping we see some buying come in here. Alright, I want to have this order in, and if I get in, this half is just a quick in and out. It's a scalp, because I would expect price to break away from this area if we get above that area, and I want to take a little bit off just for some extra profit if we can get back up there. We are. I did. So 107's holding. If the 107 breaks, then I want to cut this half. I might want to take the whole thing off. The 25 is holding. Strangely strong. There we go. Broke through. Good move here. I think I'm gonna hold this half for a little bit here. That's pretty good. Good volume. Looks pretty good here. Moving average just coming up here. I think I want to hold on to this one. Lowe's itself is bearish. Stuff around isn't that bullish. I meant stuff around me isn't that bullish though. SPY is a little consolidating lower here, but I need to be patient with this. I gotta be. All right, changing my stop loss to a close underneath those moving averages. Good move here. I'll take my half. I'll take my money. Let the rest the other half here go to a close below those moving averages. Ooh, SPY just had a big red candle breaking down. See how we act here. We're kind of struggling a little bit more than I liked. Back early at the open, you can tell it was fairly easy for this thing to make a push higher, and we're kind of bouncing around in here. So we got 30 seconds till this can. Oh, the SPY is making some ugly candles here. Bought right back up. Absolutely want to see that. I'll give it a couple seconds here. If it starts looking like it wants to break down here, I need to get out, because the SPY is definitely pretty ugly right now. Very bearish candle. Yeah, all out. Good trade initially. I just don't like what things are looking like right now. Volume kind of slipped off a little bit here. I would have expected this thing to make a little bit quicker of a move, but definitely take what I can get. This is exactly what I'm trying to take these trades like from now on. I want to get that super tight risk, add a little bit over the breakout of this consolidation, and take profits relatively quickly, and just let the stock tell me what to do. I mean, that one went very well. Okay, I'm thinking about Target here. The SPY's kind of making another downturn, so I'm not liking that too much, but Target itself is kind of a little bit everywhere. So we had a weak open engulfing pattern to get back above VWAP, hammer doji. So 2 hammer dojis in a row on the 5. And on the 1 minute here, we're kind of getting stuck a little bit here. I think I want to try and get an entry in there. Stop loss is only, so I'm only risking about 50 bucks here. So I'm going to try and get filled at 85, and then I want to place another order in above the high of this at 06. I might just want to go right now. The other thing I'm debating is if I want to even skip this trade if I don't get my original good entry, because I mean I can still definitely take this. Stop loss is still about 20 to 25 cents here. And I think I'm just gonna let it go. See what well, there it goes. Sold right back down. Yeah, these wicks are pretty strong here. Really good volume on this breakout. Might catch something coming back here. I don't know. It's not really that the trade isn't worth it anymore. I feel a lot more comfortable whenever I have that initial entry to kind of, it's the core position to start your trade off of. Alright, Momo might be doing something here. We're just now starting to see if we want to break down underneath this consolidation. If it fails here, this thing could definitely want to move higher then. But I'm trying to think of a good spot that would be a good entry. Also, volume is dying out, so that's another case point against me. But I'm really curious to see what it does here. If we close underneath these moving averages, I'm pretty sure it's going to go back to VWAP here. Might be what the problem is, but it looks like we're going to close right on top of it here. What is this? 75 and 76, so 74 definitely be a stop loss. The SPY is also starting to turn around again. It just kind of pushed up through VWAP here. Things are starting to turn a little more bullish. Because if I get in at 85, 500, that's only $50 worth of risk. But I mean, it's been having a lot of trouble up here. It got up to 10, then we got up to 5, and then now it's getting a little less each time. I'm not a huge fan of the volume, but the volume's not going to come in until this thing gets back above 43 for one. And it's also got to get above the rest of this too. I don't know. Well, the volume is growing a little bit here. Might have to go for something like 90. Let's watch and see. So there's the push. Big seller showed back up again here, shoving it right back underneath. Yeah, there's a hidden seller there. I don't know. I don't know if I really trust this one. I don't think I want to take this. I just don't like what's going on up here. Each time it gets up there, it gets shunted right back down. I mean, who knows when the actual break, if it's ever going to come, is going to be. I think the best bet would be to take something long over the high of this candle. That's just going to come right back here. It's tried it on both ends now and failed both ways. And this thing could definitely go either way, because there's a bunch of longs and a bunch of shorts in here just waiting to see where this thing's gonna go. I mean, overall, we got a bear flag on it, or a bull flag. So I think the case is bullish instead of bearish, but I don't know. I just want to record it and watch it and just see what happens. I mean, a super good entry would be like right now. I'm only risking about 10 cents. It's just a really tough call. SPY's moving up. Should definitely help. Nothing else is really setting up for anything. Lowe's just kind of consolidated, made some ugly back and forth action, and then took off out of nowhere. Target's kind of doing the same thing. I think Momo here is the only play left at the moment. I mean, if Momo does get above all this consolidation, I feel like it could take off, easily go back to high day. Who knows, we might end up waiting long enough for this 50 to come up to it before anything happens. Just that volume just dying. can definitely tell there's a hidden seller. Volume's picking up again. Big buy. Tape speeding up. Candle closing again. And just looking at it, you can see it's getting tighter and tighter. 10,000. Got above it. There it goes. Another big seller. Broke the rim. Yeah, definitely a decent move. I just don't see it. I mean, there were so many fake outs. You know, who knows when it's actually finally gonna break, and even if it does, you know, who knows if this is gonna last. Something's going on in excess here. There is certainly a hidden buyer at 61 right now. Yeah, he's definitely there. Did we break under that? 61, no, we haven't gotten there yet. I'm pretty sure that I saw him. I just need to see something before I click the button. Multiple attempts to get above VWAP failed. Now it looks like it wants to push lower. We're just getting stuck at the 61 here. Five minutes, alright. Just kind of consolidating around VWAP 4 forever. Really failing to move either way. I made a decent little push higher above VWAP, but it's failing. So last time I went for a trade like this, it ended up clipping me in out of nowhere, taking out my shares before it actually made a break. So I think I want to be a little more cautious with this one. There's definitely a hidden seller. I think I'm going to give myself an extra penny here. Again, volume's not that great, but it's kind of the same situation with Momo. You know, given enough time, enough pressure, long enough base, might end up seeing something. The 5-minute 9 EMA isn't until 60.25, so quite a ways for that one. Again, just a super quick scalp. If it gets me in, it gets me in. If it gets me in, pops back up against me, then I'm all out. Spread's 8 cents, so my chances of getting filled aren't the greatest, but again, same time, I don't want to give away too much profit. Little squeeze here, another retest. You know, if it fails here, just even more so adds to the case that it wants to move lower. Yeah, that spread's getting real spready. Nothing else seems to be doing anything. So it looks like X, this is it. Momo didn't move much higher, but it is holding higher, so it definitely could go for a retest high a day. PSTG is pretty ugly, can't really tell what's going on. Alright, so we failed again, this time not even getting above VWAP. I think I want to give myself some more space. Figured if it does break and it fails, it immediately gets bought back up. Worst case, about 15 cents against me. Volume. Just need to see it come in. I mean, once we break out of this little range, you know, it's the same situation with Momo. Volume's not there now, but I expect it to be there once we get out of this. I want to see it about 61.80, 61.75 before I take anything off. Because I'm trying to imagine the worst case scenario. You know, if I do get filled at 90, then you know that's $50 worth of profit is kind of taken away. But I still want to get 20 cents out of it. I mean, just looking back at these levels, I mean, if this thing does get down into 70, I definitely need to be taking it off. Just because each time it's gotten down there, it's gotten bought straight back up. So if I get that opportunity, it needs to happen fast. Alright, well, I'll turn it back on if we get down again. Okay, so we are back down again. Pushed above VWAP, failed again, got back down to 61.10 cents, and there was another hidden buyer at 10 cents that we just broke underneath. So now I'm waiting to see if that guy is still down there at 61. Again, tape moving slow. Not a lot of volume. We did have volume coming in on that squeeze up. Figured we would see the same thing going down. The 9, oh no, he's not there anymore. 9 EMA on the 5-minute chart, still creeping closer, but there's still room for this thing to break underneath it. I got about 5 more minutes here, and then I think I'm gonna give up on this thing if it can't do anything within that time, because then this thing is gonna be like right up on it, and then it just doesn't really make sense anymore. So it's gotta happen. I'll turn it back on if it does. Alright, I'm definitely going to be done for the day. Exus ended up not coming back down. I ended up having a nice little squeeze higher, which actually could be another decent strategy, another setup. Because, I mean, clearly, you know, if it's not going to break down, you know, it could break up. You know, any shorts that get caught in here, obviously causing that giant squeeze to happen. So there's another pretty easy scalp in there, I guess. Something to think about in the future. I mean, it started holding higher here, so you know, if I did get some conviction to take it long, plenty of opportunity to get a super tight risk reward in there. And I mean, it was a relatively very fast move. Ended up being pretty good. But going over everything that happened today, so targets pretty strong pre-market, kind of sold off into the open, still good enough for a gap and go. Ended up making a decent little doji in there, and then I just took it long over the highs. See, Lightspeed's still messing with the candles, so it probably looks better here. So this candle right there took it long over the high of it. Just risking 30 cents, make 30 cents. Super quick scalp. Got filled towards the end of my limit though. Kind of an issue, kind of not. I mean, I gave away $80 on the trade, but just happy to have finally gotten in a good gap and go trade that ended up working out in my favor. After the past, who knows how many I ended up missing. So a 300 winner to start the day in the first minute, definitely a good deal. I was looking for some opening range plays then, and Lowe's was absolutely perfect. Super strong pre-market, heading right into the open. Really strong open, pulled back, consolidated just how I wanted to see it. Ended up taking 500 shares above the breakout of the high a day, but I sold on this pullback as it came down to 106.02. You can see I got out at 106.02, and for some reason I have this issue where after I take a gap and go trade into an opening range play, I treat it the same way, like a scalp. If it goes in my favor right away, great. If it doesn't, then I need to just get out. And obviously every time I end up doing that, I end up cutting it off where I shouldn't. I mean, I need to tell myself that it's okay to hold on for an opening range for a small pullback. And I mean, it went to my risk. My risk was about 40-50 cents on it. So, I mean, it was right there. It was right where I should be taking my stop loss, but I still think I should have held on to it. It happened, it was like a flash that it flashed down to that 106.02. And I mean, I just hit the bid right on it and got out, and then, next couple of seconds, thing pops right back up. Perfect opening range trade, and I just kind of miss out on it. I'll go after that Lowe's trade last. The next trade I took was PSTG. Notice I had a nice engulfing pattern here, a little bit of consolidation in there. And then we saw the, actually I cannot remember if there was a hidden seller in here or not. I'm gonna go watch tape. Okay, so I kind of talked about it in the middle of the trade as soon as I got out of it, but something really strange was going on. After we ended up breaking out of this thing, there was definitely a hidden seller there. We got up to about 94, another hidden seller, 95, another hidden seller, 96, another hidden seller, 98, another hidden seller, but we kept breaking them. It wasn't super fast. I mean, just looking at the volume, you can see that there's nothing special about this candle. I mean, we got up to the whole number, and then at the whole number there weren't hidden sellers, there were just big sellers. And I mean, the thing shot down 15 cents nearly immediately. I think what I should have done, I don't know, it's kind of a tough call because I definitely wanted to wait, give it a chance for like a small pullback, like a penny pullback or something, after it bounced off of the whole number, but that penny pullback ended up being a 15-cent pullback, so I don't really know if I could have timed it that much better on getting out. Either way, there was definitely every cause to get out of the trade. I just only wish, obviously, it was higher, not lower. I kind of figured there'd be a little bigger break. Just looking at the past candles, it's a 50-cent candle here. I figured the same thing could have happened on this one, but just with those hidden sellers kind of really slowing it down, making it not move as much, definitely affected the trade. I mean, maybe I could have hit out early, but I mean, I only took a small loss on it, so either way, it's no big deal. Alright, so yesterday, I kind of had a revelation on how I want to trade SMB trades going forward, and I thought to myself to use double size on the second entry on breakouts. So Lowe's had super strong open, pulled back to view app, already love what I'm seeing. Made a decent move higher. I wanted to see it consolidate a little bit more, which was definitely the right move because it allowed the 20 to catch up with it. Pre-market, not that clean. But after that 20 caught up with it, got a super nice entry right along VWAP. Right at 106.80, stop loss just underneath that 50, so risking about 30 cents on 200 shares, only about 60 bucks. Wasn't trying to get the full 100 because I knew that I also wanted to add into this trade if it broke out above this consolidation here. So in that case, I reduce my risk, and at the same time I'm adding to a winner, and I'm adding to a trade that I believe should take off from this point. So if I believe it's going to break hard from that point, I should be betting on it. and I also have kind of like a core on the trade just to kind of start me out. So I mean, at this point, if I got in at 80, my next entry was up about almost 40 cents away, so 200, that's 80 bucks. I'm already up on the trade at this point. And then at this point, this trade is just, it's kind of like a scalp. Same scenario, you know, I let it run back against me a little bit. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think it got somewhere close to the whole number before it kind of took off again. But I let it bounce around. I wanted to see it somewhere about 50 before I started taking the second half off. I mean, I got about 30 cents on it. And then at this point, it took a little too long, you know. I figured if it's supposed to break away from this point and it doesn't, then you know something's wrong with the trade and it might be time to start looking to get out. And I'm trying to see here. This was 9:53, and at 9:53, the SPY was doing this. So that was definitely another case that I needed to get out of the trade. And I didn't. I mean, I waited for it to close below the 1 minute here because, you know, I had a decent cushion. I could allow myself to have that little bit of extra room, you know, just in case it does want to bounce from this area. But it didn't, so I mean, I ended up stopping out the rest of it. So I mean, that was a pretty solid trade. I was pretty happy with that one. Those are pretty much the exact kind of trades that I'm looking to get, you know, because they get the super tight risk, huge reward, huge possible reward, and I can add into a winner as it breaks out of consolidation. And, you know, it gives me the opportunity to not only reduce risk, but increase the winners as well. And I don't want to be full size from a position from the start, because if it does get up here and I'm full size and it breaks out of this and it doesn't break hard like I think it should, well then I don't really want to be full size still. So in that case, I'd still be happy that I only got half size. So I give myself that chance to add into getting full size and, you know, take it off as fast as I want if it doesn't work in my favor right when I think it should be working in my favor. And at the same time, I can still hold on to my core position for a pullback. So this is just kind of like a bonus trade. Yeah, I might lose a little bit, might make a little bit, but I think more often than not, you know, if I'm taking these A+ setups, these should be moving, you know. I mean, this one moved, but not as well as I thought it might move. So overall, plus 150 on the day. Absolutely should have been better. I mean, this was a $250 loss that should have been a $250 win, really. If not 250, maybe even more. Because, I mean, this is a whole dollar in here. I mean, if I just held on to it a little bit longer, it's 500 shares. You know, like, it could be a $500 opening range play. But, you know, I mean, it's just kind of the way it goes, I guess. I mean, it came right to my stop loss. So, I mean, I don't blame myself too much for hitting out when I did, but at the same time, I need to be conscious of a pullback and still hold on to it, because it's such a good looking setup. I mean, it really is. And just perfect bear flag, perfect consolidation, perfect breakout, good volume. I just didn't give it a chance to make a move, so it's kind of the price I pay. But I mean, it feels good to have a green day. It feels good to be trading, making good trades again. These definitely weren't bad trades, just bad trade management on the one. And other than that, I mean, I saw another thing that I think I want to start doing too is on this Exus. I mean, this is like it's not super clear of a long, but I mean, it's definitely a case where I should be taking a closer look into taking that trade. Because we had a pullback, a little bit of consolidation, a nice bump there, and then it's getting stuck at a whole number. I mean, as it broke through that whole number, I mean, those are huge moves on this. So definitely another thing to think about coming towards the future, taking those trades, those types of setups. So plenty of practice to do, videos to watch, and I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching.